Does the government work for us or do we work for the government? What is the most frequently performed medical procedure in the United States today? Tonight, a few words about abortion. Yesterday was the 39th anniversary of Roe versus Wade, the decision of the United States Supreme Court that permitted abortions. Prior to that case, abortion was regulated by each state, and most of them prohibited it, unless two physicians could certify that the baby growing in the mother's womb would likely result in the death of the mother. Even the states that permitted abortions when the pregnancy was caused by rape or incest, an extremely rare occurrence, did not permit it after the 6th month of pregnancy. Roe versus Wade changed all of that. That opinion permits abortions in all 50 states during the first 3 months of pregnancy for any reason or for no reason. It permits abortions during the second 3 months of pregnancy for the, quote, health of the mother. Health of the mother can mean mental health. Thus, most states have taken the liberal position that if a continued pregnancy would make the mom sad or would challenge her psychologically, or if she has second thoughts about the pregnancy, the baby may be aborted. Roe versus Wade also permits the states to prohibit or to allow abortions during the final 3 months of pregnancy. Now, most states prohibit all abortions during the final 3 months, as this is the period of viability when the baby can live, assisted of course, outside the mother's womb. The state of New Jersey, my home state, is the exception, as it permits abortions up to the moment of birth. In the last 39 years, American physicians have performed over 50 million abortions. This procedure is far and away the most frequent medical procedure performed anywhere in the United States. The linchpin to the Roe versus Wade decision is the court's rationale that because the decision to have an abortion ordinarily occurs in a conversation between patient and physician, and because that interaction ordinarily takes place in private, the right to privacy insulates abortion from the reach of the government. Roe versus Wade itself does not define the right to an abortion, but it does unambiguously declare that the baby in the womb is not a person, and that the right to privacy protects the mother's decision to kill the baby. Did you catch that? The Supreme Court declared that the baby in the womb is not a person. When it made that declaration, it rejected dozens of decisions of other courts in America and in Great Britain holding that the baby in the womb is a person. This is reminiscent of the Supreme Court's infamous Dred Scott decision in 1857, in which it ruled that blacks were not persons. In both cases, it cited no precedent, it gave no rational basis, and in Roe versus Wade, it merely said that because philosophers and doctors and lawyers could not agree if babies in the wombs are persons, it would declare them not to be persons. You see, if the baby in the womb is a person, then all abortion is unlawful. That's because of the constitutional protection for all persons. As you know, the Constitution unambiguously prohibits the government from impairing or permitting others to impair the life, liberty, or property of persons without due process. So here's my political beef, with so-called pro-life politicians and parties. In the years in which the pro-life Ronald Reagan and both Presidents Bush were in the White House, from time to time, both chambers of Congress had pro-life majorities. Did you see any legislation passed that declared the baby in the womb to be a person? No. This could have been done by a simple majority vote and presidential signature, and then Roe versus Wade and all the killing it spawned would have ended. How scary is this? The Supreme Court declares a class of humanity not to be persons, and then permits people to destroy members of that class. That's what happened to blacks during slavery. That was the philosophical argument underlying the Holocaust. That's what's happening to babies in the womb, even as I speak. And that might become the basis for the government killing persons it hates or fears in the future. Is the baby in the womb a person? Of course babies in wombs are persons. From the moment of the union of an egg and sperm, there is a fully actualizable human genome present, meaning all the genetic material necessary for post-birth existence is there in the union of the egg and sperm. And the parents of that union are human beings. What else could a baby be in the womb with human parents and a human genome? If you have any doubt, Why not give the benefit of the doubt to life rather than to death? Unless you prefer death to life and killing to nurturing and misery to joy, I expect you agree with me. Since I began these closing comments, 10 babies have lost their lives, as abortions occur in the United States about 2.5 times a minute. What will history say of our society when we cannot protect the weakest among us, and when we destroy them out of convenience, and when we make that destruction legal? And who will the government let us destroy next? From New York, defending freedom, defending innocent human life, every night of the week. So long, America.